to another Wednesday with me, Mr. Goodie Grammar. I cannot thank you enough for stopping by General Grammar to spend your Wednesday with me. And tonight, I have an amazing new concept to talk about. Yeah, that's right. We're talking all about the colon. And not the body part. Just to clarify. Sorry, go to medical school for that. But I want to get into it. So, whether you're joining me now on Facebook Live or later on YouTube, make sure to follow along and participate in that comment section. I want to know if you're mastering this. Let's get it started. So, the overview for this Wednesday is we're going to go ahead and start with a little basket breaker. Then we're going to talk all about the colon. Followed up by the Grammar Goodie shout out of the week. What? What is that? Oh yeah, it's if you put sentences into the comment section, guess what I do? Oh yeah, I give you a shout out on our episodes, like Wednesday. So make sure to play along and see if it's you that gets the Grammar Goodie sentence shout out of the week. And after that, we're just going to go ahead and check out. So I hope you're ready to go, buckled up, and you have that Slurpee, because it's time for a basket breaker.
Uh-oh.
Wow, I felt like gravel going down my throat. Cool! For this week's basket breaker, the question is, what is the most important internal organ? Which one? Out of your whole body, what is the most important internal organ? Think about it for a second. What do you think? This is to get our minds a-going. And hydration. I just had water while I was thinking. So, here is the answer to our basket breaker. It's the brain! The brain is the most important internal organ. It's that thing that tells everything what to do. Gotta love it. So, make sure to go ahead and not knock on your brain, but give your brain a little pat, a little round of applause for being so important. And tonight, you're going to use that brain to interact with some radioactive waste.
3, 2, 1.
As you know, we're already going to go ahead and jump into colons. But what is a colon, Mr. Goodie Grammar? I'm so happy you asked, random voice. A colon is a punctuation mark. And it looks like this. It's 2 dots. Used to precede, so come before, a list of items, a quotation, an expansion, or an explanation. In essence, it is used to draw attention to many things in your writing. Let me simplify it even more. Basically, a colon is used before something important. As I'll show you here, it can be used in a variety of circumstances, and it has a multitude of rhetorical effects. So, going back real quick, when it comes to a colon, alright, basically you put it before a series of items, a quotation mark, or something that you want to expand upon. And we're going to learn the different rules and different circumstances, how to use this colon, when to use it, and why would we use it. I like to think of the colon as the attention seeker of punctuation marks. It's going, me. Give me attention. Something important's going on. And I'm the one who's calling it out. That's how I like to think about colons. Kind of sounds like me. Interesting. Moving on. So, the first thing that I want to talk about with you is how we use colon for list. How do we use a colon in order to introduce a list of things? Let's look. So, you could use a colon to introduce an item or a series of items. Again, a colon is me. Whatever comes after me is important, but pay attention to me because I'm the one indicating something comes afterwards. And in this case, what the colon would be indicating is that a list is going to come after it. Little side note, do not capitalize the first item after the colon unless it's a proper noun. When you have lists, that is. This is not going to apply for the other situations yet. So again, a colon, we put it, and then what comes after it can be a list. It's introducing a list. It's saying, hey, a list is coming. Let me show you an example. You may be required to bring many animals. Bobbit worms, unicorns, dragons, and puppies! Yay! All things that you just see in everyday life. Let's break this down. We have our colon right here, that little attention seeker. Before it, we have this whole independent clause. You may be required to bring many animals. Well, let's think here. Do we know what animals you're required to bring? No, we don't. So we would have to list them out. The beautiful thing is, this colon goes, hey, after me, I'm going to have a list of different things. And in this case, it's listing off all the animals. It's pretty easy. Let's go ahead and look at another example. I need to purchase the following items from the store. Ramen, water, and internal intestines. My body hurts. So, in this case, the first clause is going, oh, I need to purchase these items. And then we have a colon over here to indicate that we are going to start listing the items. Which, again, I'm going to the store to get ramen, water, and internal intestines. Crazy, right? Oh, it wouldn't be a Wednesday without water, ramen, and internal intestines, right? Just pay close attention to the colon. In this case, again, it's function. We put a colon there right before a list to say, hey, this is where, boom, the list is starting. Ooh, how you feeling so far? How you feeling? I know you're feeling good. So, avoid. This is highly important. Everyone, eyes on me so we can see. Wow, I just came up with that. I'm a poet, apparently. Something I want you to keep in mind. Avoid using a colon before a list if it directly follows a verb or a preposition. And as we know, verb, preposition, different parts of speech. So, avoid using a colon before a list if it directly follows a verb or a preposition. Because normally those wouldn't necessarily need some punctuation marks. For example, I want world peace, racial equality, and diversity. Awesome! However, this is not recommended in terms of using that colon. If we notice, yeah, cool, I want, and then I'm listing the things that I want, but want is a verb. It's something that you do. You want something. And we're usually not going to put a colon before a verb. Also, we don't even need a colon here. We could just go ahead and list it off regularly. I want world peace, racial equality, and diversity. Whoa! Amazing, amazing, amazing. So I didn't need my colon there. This is a verb and it's just unnecessary. I could also say this though if I wanted to use a colon. I want the following solutions. Boom! Colon, world peace, racial equality, and diversity. Here's what makes these two different. Right here, this is incorrect because you have a verb ahead of it. However, here, you'll notice that we have solutions, which is a noun. So, we can put solutions before the colon. And then a beautiful list that follows. Oh, what a world. How are you feeling? Pretty good, pretty good. We're soaking it in and we're moving on. Again, here are a couple more examples of avoiding when to use a colon. So, not recommended. I've seen the greats, including, colon, Bonnie McKee, Lacey Skulls, and Age of Aquarius. All strong, powerful women. In this case, we have including before the colon. Including, what part of speech is that going to be? Well, it's a verb, so meh. Also, it's absolutely unnecessary. We don't need it there. We could just go ahead and continue with our list. So, let's look at this recommended sentence. I've seen the greats, comma, including Bonnie McKee, Lacey Skulls, and Age of Aquarius. Oh! Up here, it's just absolutely unnecessary. You could just jump right into it, and a verb comes before it, so you don't want to use it. So, whoa! I think it's practice time. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to write an original sentence that uses a colon to introduce a list of things. Again, write an original sentence that uses a colon, those double dots, to introduce a list. Whatever you want to list. But make sure to follow the rules correctly. Avoid using a verb or a preposition beforehand. And in many cases, just ask yourself, do I even need a colon here? That's for you to figure out. And while you do that, and type that into the comments section, I'm going to do a whirlwind spin to grab water. And guess what? I'm back just like that, inadequately hydrated for now. I'm usually thirsty. So I could list off the following items I need right now. Ice, water, and potentially a defibrillator. But that's something else. I think you completely destroyed this and did incredible. So let's go ahead and move into the next role that a colon can play in a sentence. Colons and quotation marks, right? Colons that introduce quotes. And I can't wait because hopefully you'll be quoting me by the end of this episode. No one ever does. Moving on. So, the colon is used to introduce quotes if the clause that comes before it is an independent clause. As a review, what's an independent clause? Come on, grammar goodies, think back. Use the most important internal organ, your brain. What is an independent clause? What's that you say? Oh, absolutely correct. An independent clause is a complete thought made up of a subject and a predicate. So, we need an independent clause in order to put that colon and then have a quote that comes after it. Those are the requirements. Also, you can use a colon before a quote when the quote itself is a complete sentence. What? Crazy, right? So on either side of the colon, you need to make sure that you have an independent clause. What does this look like though? Let me show you. The host made an announcement, colon, I have poisoned the drinks. In this scenario, we do have an independent clause before the colon. The host made an announcement. That's a complete thought. So we can use a colon to introduce the quote. What the host is saying. What his announcement is. I have poisoned the drinks. In this case, again, we can use this colon to introduce this quote because we have an independent clause that comes first. Cool! Moving on. My mum repeated her life advice, colon, if your personal drama won't matter in 5 years, don't pay any attention to it. Wise words, Mama, wise words. In this case, once again, we have an independent clause before the quote. My mom repeated her life advice. It's a complete thought. Therefore, we can actually use this colon to introduce this quote. Another indicator of the fact that we can use a colon in this case is because this quote, guess what, is a complete sentence. So we have a complete sentence on each side? Great job! That was pretty straightforward. Don't you think so, grammar goodies? I want you to go ahead and pick out your favorite quote of all time. Any quote that really resonates with you. And I want you to go ahead and introduce that quote and use a colon to do so. So an independent clause to introduce it, boom! Add that colon in there, and then put your favorite quote. What are you going to put? Make sure to throw it into the comment section. I want to read them. So that is your practice. I do wonder what you shall acquire. It's knowledge that you shall acquire because we're going on to the next thing. The third role that a colon plays in a sentence. It has tons of roles, but we're going to go over 3 tonight. So, a colon used for emphasis, expansion, comma, and clarification. The people who don't believe in the Oxford comma. I'm being one of those now. Let's go on. So, you can use a colon to join 2 independent clauses when you want to expand or explain on the first independent clause. Here's a good grammar. What do you mean? You're just reading off a slide. No, I'm not. Hold up, okay? We know that another punctuation mark, the semicolon, does the same thing, correct? It joins together 2 independent clauses. However, the colon can actually do the same thing, but the rhetorical effect is different. A semicolon joins together 2 independent clauses that are equal in thought. However, with a colon joining together 2 independent clauses, it is emphasizing, yo, attention seeker, I want to explain or expand on that first independent clause. Because that colon, again, me, pay attention to me. Woo! So it's really effective to use it here because it puts that focus, that attention, that whoa, on that second independent clause. It's like, yo, I'm expanding, I'm clarifying, I'm explaining what came before. Let's go ahead and look at this. Dino had one more thing to say, colon. He did not want to travel to Narnia. Ah! Even though there's a verb here, we can actually use the colon in this case because we have two independent clauses. The amazing thing, whoa, is that this, he did not want to travel to Narnia, explains that one more thing that Dino had to say. Dino had to say one more, boom, back to it. Dino had one more thing to say. If I'm a reader and it stops there, I'm going, well, what is it that he has to say? By adding this colon, it's saying, yo, what comes next is going to be the explanation to this. It will tell us what that one more thing is. Awesome! Example. The reason he broke up with you is simple. You didn't save him from the flamingo attack. How could you do that? How could you do that? Lisa! Huh? Should have jumped in there and saved him from the flamingo! Just joking. Single life is amazing. So, here, the reason he broke up with you is simple. If I see that colon right here, I know that the author is going to tell us what that reason is. Then you have your colon, and then the reason directly behind it, right? It expands, it explains what the reason is. And that's what makes a colon so cool. It's going, here's kind of like the preview, the teaser, and then let me go ahead and set it in stone. Whoa! And note, the capitalization of an independent clause after the colon is actually optional. However, if it is a proper noun, boom! Make sure to definitely capitalize it. But if it's a pronoun, optional. Example. The Yeti forgot one crucial detail, colon. The desert was not the perfect living environment. I'm sorry, Yeti. Come on, come to the desert. Yeah. Here, we are treated to the one crucial detail, that the desert wasn't really good for the Yeti. So that colon, once again, attention seeker goes, okay, I'm going to go ahead and explain what the one crucial detail is. So it's a really cool stylistic choice here. Let's go ahead and boom, 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 look at a couple of other capitalization rules. So, capitalize the first letter following a colon for a proper noun. Who said that? Oh yeah, I just did. The beginning of a quote or the first letter of another independent clause. Optional on this one. Do not capitalize the information following the colon if it's not a complete sentence. For example, if you're just putting a name. So for example, my favorite, how would I say it? My favorite dog is a monster, colon, beagles, whatever. So in this case, do not capitalize the information following the colon if it's not a complete sentence. Let's say it's a name following it. Nah, that's not. Unless it is a proper noun. I guess, yeah, then a name. I'm thinking tonight. I'm existential. Let's go on. So let's practice this. In the comments, write an original sentence that uses a colon between two independent clauses to emphasize, clarify, or expand. That colon, it goes boom! Hey! What comes next is important. So, really blow me away with whatever you put after the colon. I want to see a cohesive rhetorical effect here. Make me go, whoa! And if the sentence is, then I'll go ahead and give you a Grammar Goodie sentence shout out on the next episode. So make sure to go ahead and write an original sentence and boom, post it into the comments section. Practice makes perfect. Oh, yeah, I'm not proud of saying that one. Wow. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and ask for some employee assistance. Put you to the test.
We need some employee assistance.
Okay. For tonight's employee assistance, you will be given different sentences. I shall read them off to you. What will happen is you will read each sentence and determine if it actually uses the colon correctly. The thing about the colon is, since it has so many rules and roles and everything in between, you really want to make sure that you're practicing when it is appropriate and not appropriate to use a colon, the different circumstances. So that's why I'm going to give you some examples so you can analyze, is this an appropriate time or spot in which I can use a colon? Let's find out. Make sure to participate in the comment section, whether you're with me now on Facebook Live or later on YouTube. Whoa! Let's go on. Question 1. Does this sentence use the colon correctly? The Kool-Aid man could not continue without letting his wife know something important. Colon, he loves her. I'll go ahead and read that again because I was butchering that worse than, I don't know, they did to the third X-Men movie. Here's the sentence. The Kool-Aid man could not continue without letting his wife know something important. Colon, he loves her. Aww. Does this sentence use the colon correctly? Throw A into the comments if you think it's yes, or B in the comments if you think it's no. Does this use it correctly? I'll give you a second. I'm going to stand here and stare at the wall. Alright, enough thinking. So, the answer to this is yes! A. It totally uses the colon correctly. The Kool-Aid man could not continue without letting his wife know something important. That's an independent clause. And we know that, guess what? We can use a colon to join together two independent clauses. So let's look at the second clause. He loves her. That's an independent clause. So already it's looking good for our colon here. Now we just have to make sure which is going to be the best punctuation mark to join together these two independent clauses. Will it be a semicolon or a colon? In this case, since the second independent clause clarifies or explains what, guess what, that important message is, then the colon is correctly used. Next question. Does this sentence use the colon correctly? If there's one thing to say, colon, pineapples. Is this using the colon correctly? A for yes, B for no. Think about it for a second while I get water. Whoa, casual walking. Okay, did you get A or B? Because the correct answer here is B. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have an independent clause on either side of it. So it's not even a complete sentence. And it looks really weird. So, this is not a correct way to use a colon based off of what we've talked about tonight. Let's go to the next one. Does this sentence use the colon correctly? Empress Minikitty gave me incredible advice. Budget your money so I can eat more food. Empress Minikitty doesn't sound like that whatsoever, but you get the gist. Empress Minikitty gave me incredible advice. Colon! Budget your money so I can eat more food. Does this use the colon correctly? Put A for yes or B for no. Break it down. Look on either side of the colon to identify the clauses. I don't know why I'm whispering. I'm giving you 5 seconds. I'm going to hold my breath until then. Okay, hopefully you got an answer. If not, pause me for a second. The correct answer to this is A. Yes! Why? Well, to start off, Empress Minikitty gave me incredible advice. That's an independent clause. And we know if we have an independent clause first, we can actually introduce a quote. Then we have, on the other side of the colon, budget your money so I can eat more food. Also, wow, a complete sentence, complete thought. So, we can actually use this colon in order to introduce this quote. Whoa! Just with those elements alone. So the correct answer is A. Yes, it totally does. Next one. Does this sentence use the colon correctly? Snailmate stress sauce comes with a warning label. This hot sauce is so tasty that it solves all of the world's problems. Whoa! Whoa, Wednesday full of world issues? Whoa! But you know what's even more of a whoa type of situation? Snailmate's stress sauce. Make sure to check it out by going to Snailmate's social media platforms, which I'll link below. In this case, we have to ask ourselves, is this using the colon correctly? And I'm not talking about, drinking the hot sauce and then using the colon. Nope, I'm talking about, is this used correctly in the sentence? A for yes, B for no. What do you think? Let's ponder. Does this use it correctly? Alright, enough. I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer. This 100% uses the colon correctly. Let's break it down real quick. To start things off, Snailmate's stress sauce, wow, alliteration, love it, comes with a warning label. First off, that's an independent clause, which we know that we can put an independent clause before a colon and then follow it up with a quote even if the quote isn't an independent clause or complete sentence. Then we see some quotation marks. So already we're like, okay, colon's ready to party with some quotation marks. Because again, colons can introduce quotes. They're going, man, look over here, I'm starting a quote. Cool. And then we have this from the warning label. This hot sauce is so tasty that it solves all of the world's problems. Ooh, quotation marks there. Whoa, whoops. So, in this case, it is absolutely correct because, ooh, guess what? That's a complete sentence, a complete thought. Sans quotation marks. Cry, cry, cry. But a beautiful colon, although you might have thought, no, this is not correct. It's 100% correct. The answer is A. Yes, this colon is used correctly. And you can use your colon beautifully by definitely devouring Snailmate's stress sauce, which goes great on anything, like my retinas. I tried it and it felt great. But don't try it at home, kids. Let's go on. Now we're at this. does this sentence use the colon correctly? I need, colon, a frying pan, a protein shake, and a defibrillator. This is factual. If you have it, please send it my way. So, grammar goodies. Does this use the colon correctly? A for yes, and B for no. What do you think? Alright, enough time. So, the correct answer here is boom. B, no. First of all, you have a verb right before the colon, which we usually want to stray away from. We want to go, no, we don't want that. Then we have, of course, this beautiful list, but again, our main detractor from using the colon in this case is, one, it comes right after a verb, and two, it's just not necessary. I could just say, without this, I need a frying pan, a protein shake, and a defibrillator. Nah, the colon's just not necessary. So, how'd you do, grammar goodies? I hope you got so many correct. Hopefully all of them. But for right now, I want to go ahead and check you in the aisle. That's right! Let's do an aisle check. For this week's aisle check, please write 2 original sentences that use colons in them. And then you'll post it into the comments section. But, Mr. Goody Grammar, what do you mean 2 sentences with colons? Well, you can use the colon in any way that you want to use it. For example, if you want to write 2 sentences where the colon introduces quotes. Wow, my tongue is just getting a giant workout tonight. In which the colon introduces quotes. Go for that. Write 2 sentences where the colons introduce quotes. I love it. Or you can mix and match with the various roles that the colon plays. Think about it. And really, really, really test yourself. So, that is your aisle check. And the funniest sentences get shout-outs in upcoming episodes. Therefore, you have to participate. Come on, let's party. Okay. Now that we've gone over the stuff for a Wednesday, I think it's time we start checking out.
Can't get enough general grammar? Make sure to sign up on www.mrgoodygrammar.com to become a grammar goodie. There, you'll receive extended episodes, guided notes, worksheets, PowerPoints, quizzes, and so much more. Also, follow us doing Wednesday live streams on Facebook, random dances on TikTok, and handing out grammar challenges on Instagram. With all these resources, you can't help but have the best time learning about English grammar. Whoa!
Just as a reminder, upcoming, we have Word of the Weeks every Sunday. Make sure to check it out. The current word of the week is peculiar. How I currently feel with my inability to say words tonight, apparently. Then we have live sessions every Wednesday. What are those called again? Oh yeah, they're called Wednesdays. Then we have content episodes regularly. For example, we just released episode 23 about types of sentences. That's right, I even swim with sharks. I'll do anything to be rich and famous. All right, then we have sentence shoutouts which come out regularly. And what do you want me to teach you? Put it in the comments section. What kind of videos? I've heard about context clues. I've heard about different strategies, different words, and I'm going to make them just for you. So make sure to add your input in there. Woo! Everyone, it's come to the point where we have to go ahead and give the Grammar Goodie sentence shout-out of the week. Did you get it? Did I don't know. Possibly your third grade teacher did it? Who knows? Except for me, I know. So can I get a drum roll, please? The Grammar Goodie sentence shout out of the week goes to good old Age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Let's see what sentence you put down. It is quite peculiar how the neighbors always fight in the parking lot instead of in their apartment. Think the same thing. I could not hear about squabbles at 3 a.m. while attempting to sleep, when in reality I'm not asleep because I can't sleep. I have insomnia and I stare at the ceiling, and I also don't want to hear that. Sorry, I just had a breakdown there. An absolute meltdown. Maybe it's from lack of sleep. However, I know that the Age of Aquarius is getting some shut-eye because this is a perfect, cognitively able sentence. Nice job, Age of Aquarius. With the example that Age of Aquarius set, guess what? You could be just like her. How? Participating in the comments section. Add those little comments in there so I can give you a shout out. Woo! And a reminder to follow us on all our social media platforms like Instagram, of course Facebook, TikTok, and our website, www.mrgoodiegrammar.com, where you can sign up for exclusive content, including video quizzes, extended episodes, notes, worksheets, and even extra podcasts and fun videos. So check us out on www.mrgoodiegrammar.com. Bam! Now it's the worst part of the evening for me, Grammar Goodies. It's time that I set you free to go off into the world. My name is Mr. Goodie Grammar. Thank you so much for dropping by General Grammar. And come in anytime. I'll see you.